Hey everybody, David, aka RVJedeye, aka Car-V-Jedi, and I'm going to take you through my car camping setup with my Subaru Crosstrek. Now, normally I camp in my RV, a 2005 Winnebago Sightseer, but if you don't follow the channel or don't follow me normally, you may not know this, but earlier in the year, the roof blew off of my RV. Okay, I just came in from outside and my roof, oh my God, my roof is coming off. I got to try and get someplace safe where I can fix it. And so I am without it at least till August. That's when the roof will get fixed and I'll be able to take the RV out on a regular basis. But until then, I still wanted to get out and do something. And so I thought, why not camp in my car? I went online to YouTube, saw a lot of different people doing it, and a lot of different people doing it in the exact same car that I have. So I decided, why not try it? It's something new for me, something interesting, and maybe something you'd like to see how it all goes about. So let me take you through my setup based on everything that I read and how I decided to go out for the very first time in my car. So here you go. This is my 2013 Subaru Crosstrek. I love the vehicle just because it's a cool vehicle, but it's turned out to be a pretty cool car camping vehicle as well. Let's take you through it. So opening up the back, this is how I set up my car for right now. On the right hand side, that's where I sleep. On the left hand side, those are my two coolers, and I'll get to those in a second. But here you can see, check out, that's where I sleep. That's the head. And down here I have 3 blankets, one down, kind of one just a really nice heavy one, and my Star Wars one. These are my sheets, and then I'm on a Trifold mattress. So you can see the end of it here. There it is. I just have some old queen sheets on it. It slept pretty comfortable. Definitely going to have to tweak some things moving forward, but not bad. Here on the side, 2 coolers. I wasn't quite sure how much I was going to need, and so I got 2. One I already had. This one I picked up. And so far, not bad. I'm probably going to have to think about how I use both of them, or just use one of them moving forward, depending on how short the trips are. And then over here, this basket right here, or this plastic container, this is where I carry most of my cooking stuff. I have some of it out right now. And then when I sleep at night, it acts as kind of a side table. Just put some stuff there. So all in all, not a bad setup for the back. Let's take you around to the side. Here, again, you can see one of the coolers in the back here. Underneath here, there's some space to put stuff. I have some dry foods, things like that. My cooking utensils, not bad place to keep stuff. And then in the front, don't judge me, but this is what the front looks like. I brought a lot of stuff this time. I wasn't sure how much I was actually going to need. This is a table, which is actually a pretty cool table, but I have a camping table here, so I don't really need it. But you can see here, I just put some stuff up in front. This is my camera bag, just my regular work bag. Looks pretty cool here. Let's go around to the other side. And here you go. This is the front side. This is where I keep all of my clothes in a bag. I have a little trash here. It's pretty easy. It's where I keep some stuff up here. I did pick up this shade for the front window. Kind of blocks things out, which is kind of nice. I tell you, one of the hard things was I wear contacts, and I had to put them on this morning. I had to actually use the side mirror to get my contacts in, so that was pretty interesting. And then of course you can see the back here of the sleeping platform. And just to make it feel a little like home, picked this up at Dollar Tree. Nice to just wash off my shoes before I get in, but just a nice sentiment to have as I camp. And here you go. That's my car camping setup. So that's my car camping setup. A couple of things that I've learned right off the bat is I don't need to overpack. I did pack maybe a little bit too much this time, and I'm going to figure that out as I go forward. Also don't know that I need to bring as much food, especially if I'm just doing a quick overnight or a two-nighter. This is a 2-night stay for me this time, but this was, again, the first time. There is something I'm probably going to have to do with the bed because the top part where my head is leans over a little bit much. I have things stacked up there, but I still want to get that fixed a little bit more so that it's more level. Again, this is not a full-time thing for me, so I didn't want to build anything. So I'll figure out something to at least get it there temporarily so it helps a little bit more. It was extremely cold, almost in about 30, 35 last night. Good thing I had 3 covers. It all worked out. But all in all, this cross trek has turned out to be a great experience, and I think I'm going to do a lot more camping in the car. Even when I get my RV back, it'll be a nice thing to just hop out for a couple of days and then hop back in. The one thing that is also pretty cool about being able to car camp is that if I wanted to just move and drive around town and see the area, explore wherever I'm at, I can do that really easily. Whereas if I were in my RV, I'd have to tear down, drive around, and I don't even know if I could park or get my RV to a lot of places. This is just a regular car, so I can get all over, which makes it really nice. Hey, that's going to do it right now for me. Make sure you follow me all over social media at RVJedeye, and then of course you can follow me on the blog at RVJedeye.com. Get out there, RV, Car-V if you want. Car camping is an option, but whatever you do, get out and enjoy. You'll really like being away and unplugging for a little bit. Thanks very much. We'll see you next time.